Now, but if we talk about black leadership, does that foster some kind of divisiveness?
Well,
you're a black leader
I'm
as
not
opposed
just
to
a
a
black
leader.
yes. And I think that when people realize what they're saying, they'll change the way of describing it. Because I represent a third, a third, a third. A third of my district is black, a third of my district is Hispanic, and a third is white and others. And so I'm not a black leader. I am a leader in Congress, or a congresswoman who is considered a leader at home. I don't have any leadership positions here. But just saying I'm a black leader maybe confines me to only blacks. So I would prefer to be called Congresswoman Watson.
But it also suggests that you're only interested in black,
yeah,
in that third of your district
exactly.
that's light.
And I try to perform in such a way that I'm not confined to just the black community.
Do you think black communities in America today have a kind of crisis in leadership? We read over and over again about crises in leadership in America, and particularly in black communities.
I feel that at this point, this era, that we're missing the kind of leadership that we had a few decades ago. I think there is a need for new leadership to emerge, younger leadership. I think we really need to promote black males as leaders. There was a time that everybody would call certain names as our leaders. That time is gone. People are dying every day, and behind them has to come new leaders. And I think we do have a void, and we need to develop new voices. And I would agree with you that we might have been remiss, but we have to identify those who are willing to sacrifice their privacy to be public people. You have to make a decision. You have to give up your personal life, your private life, and you can ask anybody who sits in Congress. You're away from your family, away from home during the week. Some of us go back every weekend to our districts, and we're on the West Coast. That means a 5-hour and 15-minute flight twice a week. And you just, by nature of where you're located, neglecting, you're detached from your loved ones. That's a big sacrifice. But the person who calls him or herself a leader has to be willing to make that kind of sacrifice. And we went through a period in the 80s of being selfish, and it's what I can gain myself. But what are you going to do for yours?
I came over here on the subway from the House chamber with two members of the House, two white members of the House, one from New York, one from Massachusetts. And they're relatively senior members. And one of them was saying, some years ago, just after Bella Abzug left, or before she came perhaps, he said, I knew all the members of the Black Caucus, and I knew all the women in the Congress. And I can't say that's true today. So
Exactly.
we've had an explosion
Yes.
of leadership.
Yes.
So it's interesting to hear you say that we need a different kind of leadership, or revert to another kind of leadership we had in the past, even though the numbers are much larger.
We have 43 members now.
Okay.
I'm referring to a national voice that can speak for all of us, be you an elected office or not. And I think that we haven't developed new voices yet. We still depend on some of the older voices, or the old voices.
Seasoned.
And more seasoned,
Yes.
yes. And I think we do need to start looking at a new crop. From Los Angeles, we developed Future PAC, which is a national PAC that raises money to develop new female leaders, public servants, and so on.